high school career started freshman year at Dulles High School. On the first day of high school, I was not happy, but instead I was kind of nervous, kind of uneasy. I was worried about a ton of things involving high school, mainly the fact that I would get teased or get called names by upperclassmen, especially girls. And I mean, I was pretty tall for my age, so I never did get bullied. So who would have thought? At the time, I had two best friends who I don't really have anymore, and I had Emil. And Emil would later stay, and we would be best friends till this day. So freshman year, I decided I was going to join a bunch of things just to keep myself busy, the first being volleyball. Fun fact, I actually could not serve a ball over the net. And since that couldn't happen, that didn't work out. So I became the manager, and that would later lead on for 3 years. And then next, I joined student council. Funny story, actually that day I saw a flyer of the day of the meeting, and I was basically like, okay, why not, blah, 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 my mom would be proud of me, maybe I can get something out of this. And so that day at 2:30, I ran over to the library, and since then, that freshman year, I became vice president of the freshman class, and it was awesome, and I met a lot of people from it, and I was really happy to do that. So back to Emil. So towards the end of my freshman year, Emil and we got super close. We really had a lot in common that I didn't know before, and so it worked out, and we had the same taste in clothes, and that was pants, definitely not a tooth. And we liked the same music, we all had the same collections, we started going to concerts together. I've actually been to so many concerts with Emil, and that was just what I needed in a best friend at the time, and he really... So now we're getting into my sophomore year of high school. So I'm going to do a recap of what was going on in my sophomore year. So Emil and I were still best friends, and I still had those two other friends from middle school at the time. Everything was going pretty good, nothing was really major going on. I was still in volleyball, but I wasn't really feeling it anymore because being a manager sucks. I was in student council, but I was just a member because I didn't get voted vice president again, but that was fine. But the best thing probably about sophomore year was the fact that I was in yearbook. And yearbook was a really great experience. And why is that? Because I met my best friend, Rachel Cox. So how I met Rachel was that the first day of my sophomore year, I was walking into the yearbook class, and there was Rachel and Hannah Westenberg sitting there. And I didn't really know who to sit with because it was all upperclassmen and I was the lower one. So I ran on over and I sat down with Rachel, and the rest is history. Now moving on to one of my other best friends, Camille Doig. And that was my attempt at drawing a dog because she does have, I think, like 7 pets or something. But, okay, so how I met Camille was that we had Amanda Marco, my neighbor, she took me home every day. But Camille never had a ride, so she always took Camille home because she felt bad, even though Camille lived out of the way. So I sat in the front, Camille sat in the back, and we would go to school together every morning and afternoon. And so on days when Amanda was busy or in the afternoon and we had to sit in the car, Camille and I sat there, and we didn't really know each other that well, so it was a little bit awkward. But then we started talking about books, Harry Styles, Hugh Jackman, and movies and stuff, and we realized we actually had a lot in common. She could have practically been my soulmate, but we were just really good as best friends. Like, it was just perfect. So now we're going to get into what was my junior year of high school, and it was just a doozy because junior high school. So basically this is when I became a bro, and I became best friends with Tommy, Eli, Mitch, and Nikolai. And from all of them I learned a lot of things, some things I shouldn't know. And basically when I hang out with the guys and stuff like that, I would attempt to shoot hoops, and we would just do other stuff. So basically I'd just be hanging out, and it was really fun because I wasn't dealing with girl drama. And so this is when I also met Taylor Grove, one of my best friends today. So basically how the story goes, it was the first day of English class in Coach Call's class. I walked in, and I did not know anybody. I recognized Taylor though, Tristan and Sam Goodfriend. And so I guess I just decided to walk on over, and I sat down right there, and the rest is history. A lot of the times I think what would have happened if I didn't sit right there, but I like to think Taylor and I would have been friends anyway, somehow. And so now I'm going on to newspaper, which also became a big part of my life junior year. So the story goes, second semester of junior year, I was still in volleyball, but I would basically ditch every day in volleyball to go to newspaper just because I loved what they were doing in there. I loved the staff at the time, and it really inspired me and made me realize how much I loved the journalism program, and that this was something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so I became the first person in Della's high school history to be both on the yearbook and newspaper staff. I'm very proud to say that, if you can't tell. And so now this goes into my senior year of high school. So, class of 2015, yeah. So basically, I'm a pal right now, and I'm also student council. I was vice president this year, and yeah, rocking my VP status. And I was also yearbook, and in yearbook, I was the assignment manager / editor, so I basically yelled at everybody to do stuff, which isn't hard at all. And I also met two of my best friends during this year, Sarah Fish and Julianne. So first I'm going to talk about Sarah Fish. And so Sarah, okay, so I didn't really like Sarah in 9th and 10th grade. I don't know why. It was basically me being a girl. And I didn't really know anything about Sarah. I just thought she was mean, and I heard she said mean things all the time, so I just assumed that I didn't like her. And then in 12th grade, me and Sarah, we were in like a little big friend group called LT. And after that kind of disbanded and stuff, we stayed friends. And it's just been really good. She makes me laugh really hard. She gets my humor. We text a lot. And she just makes me really happy. And I'm really happy we're friends. So now I'm going into Julie and Willie and how we became best friends, or how we are best friends. So I basically know Julianne since elementary school. We went to Lexington Creek together, and then we went to Dallas Middle School together. And then right around when we got into high school, things got a little bit different, and we kind of drifted apart. So through 9th and 11th, we weren't really close at all. We kind of kept our distance. I mean, we had mutual friends, but we weren't close at all. Like, there's definitely a space between us. So, like I said before, Sarah, 12th grade rolled around. I was in a group with LT. That kind of disbanded. And then me and Julianne. And then we stayed friends, as she likes to choke me in the friendliest way possible. And now it comes to the conclusion of my senior recital. It's funny because I always thought high school would be like an episode of Saved by the Bell, and there'd be Zach Morris's, Kelly Kapowski's, Slater's, Screech's, but high school's definitely more than that. And I've had some of the best times, some of the worst times here, but it's high school. I mean, I'm not gonna say this is like a totally 80s movie and I'm leaving, putting my fist up in the air. It's nothing like that. It's definitely more. I'm excited for the things to come and what has in store for me. I will be attending Mizzou up in Missouri in the fall to study journalism, and I'm really excited because now I get to do something I'll be able to do something I love, and I think that's what life is about. So thank you, high school. It was definitely not Saved by the Bell.